ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं चर्षणीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यम् बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यम्। ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिविव चक्षुराततम्। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं महालक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय। ॐ श्लीं ह्रीं ज्योतिर्ब्राह्माय नमः। Can everybody say after me Hare Ram Krishna 3 times? Om Hare Rama Krishna, Hare Rama Krishna, Hare Rama Krishna. Okay, so where are we now? Which chapter? We finished Jastha Gandhanta, did we? Okay, we are on chapter 95. In Santanam version, we are on chapter 95. Tritara Janma Shanti Adhyayam. Remedies from the effect of birth of a child after 3 different kinds of child. After 3 childs of the different kind. So, in other words, if there were 3 boys and a girl was born after that, or if there were 3 girls and then after that a boy was born, then that's called Tritara Janma. Basically, birth after 3 different kinds. Athanyat sampravakshami janma dosha pradam dvija swatatraye suta ajanma tatraye suta janma chet tadarishta bhayam gneyam pitrumatra kuladvaye tatra shanti vidhim kuryat vitta sharcha vivarjitah. Okay, so what he is saying is athanyat sampravakshami. Now I will tell you about another kind. Anyat means another kind. Janma dosha pradam dvija. Another thing that gives inauspiciousness to the birth. I am going to tell you one more thing. Sutatraye sutajanma. Sutatraye means if there are 3 kids, basically 3 boy kids. If there are 3 boys and then sutajanma, that means a daughter is born after 3 boys. Or tatraye sutajanma chet. Or daughters, there were 3 daughters before and then a boy is born after that. Then Tadarishtabhayam Gneyam Pitrumatrukuladvaye. Then there is going to be Arishtam, there is going to be Arishtabhayam, there is going to be fear of Arishtam is not just poverty, it means in general inauspicious things. So there is a chance, there is a fear of inauspicious events. Gneyam means is understood. Pitrumatru Kuladvaye. Pitrumatru means fathers, mothers, Kuladvaye means family. The pair of the family. That means on both mother's side and father's side. So it's not just for the family, just for father and mother. It is also for grandparents, uncles, aunts. So in anybody, it can happen to anybody. So basically on either mother's side or father's side family, there is a danger of inauspicious events. Tatra shanti vidhim kuryat vitta sharcha vivarjitah. So I am going to then the remedial measures should be performed vitta sharcha vivarjitah, without any greed basically of money. You should not basically see, okay, I want to save my money. You should basically liberally use money and do the remedy. So what are the remedies? He is going to say next. Sutakante thava shuddhe samaye cha shubhe dine. Sutakante athava shuddhe samaye cha shubhe dine. That means Sutaka. At the end of the Sotaka Anta means at the end of the Sotaka, which is basically 11 days, 21 days, people have different conventions. So there is basically an inauspicious time following the birth of a baby. So at the end of it, you should do it. Or Shuddhe Samaye, any good time, any auspicious time, any clean time. Shubhe Dine, any auspicious day. So either at the end of the inauspicious period following birth or any auspicious day, auspicious time, you can do this. Acharya mritvijo vrutva graha yajna purassaram. Acharya mritvijo vrutva. You should basically select an acharya who knows Vedas, who is basically a scholar in Vedas. Vrutva means select such an acharya. Graha yajna purassaram. So that means do a homam, yajnam, for the grahas, for the planets. So he is suggesting planetary graha homam, navagraha homam. Brahma Vishnu Maheshendra Pratimah Shubha Pujaye Dhanya Rasistha Kalasyo Paribhaktitah. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha, Shiva, Indra. These four, he is saying, these four Pratimas, idols, Swarnajah Shubha, good looking, auspicious looking, and made of gold. So use those four idols. So here Brahma is also mentioned. You do puja to Brahma in this particular remedy. Pujaye dhanya rasistha kalasyo paribhaktitah. So dhanya rashi means a pile of grains. On that put a kalasha, and on that kalasha you establish these four idols, and bhaktitah means with devotion you do this navagraha home and puja. Chatvari rudra suktani shanti suktani sarvasah. So he is saying the four Rudra Suktas. So obviously there are four different kinds of Rudra Suktas. Unfortunately I am not knowledgeable in that. I don't know exactly what are referred to here. But apparently there are four Rudra Suktas that you are supposed to read at this time. And Shanti Suktani Sarvasaha. And also some Shanti Suktas. I don't know if there is a specific Shanti Suktam, but there are several Shanti mantras that people do at the Shanti Patham that people do at the end of Vedic chanting these days. So probably you can do those. But Rudra Sukta you have to do research. If you don't find what it is, then you can use maybe Sri Rudram, Rudra Prasna. That is my guess. Viprayeko japet homa kalete suchi samyatah. Viprayeko japet homa kalete suchi samyatah. So he is saying at the time of the homa, one Brahmin should be reading these. Suchi samyatah. He should be very clean, auspicious, and samyatah. He should have basically somebody who follows good niyama, basically somebody very principled. Such a Brahmin, one Brahmin should read these suktas. Acharyo juhyat tatra samidajya tilamscharum. And Acharya should juhyat. He should offer into the fire samida. Samit means the twigs, the samithas. Ajya means ghee. Tila means the sesame seeds. Charu means cooked rice, paisam or something. Brahmadi sarva devebhya swasva gruhyokta mantratah. To Brahma and all devatas. He only said all devatas. He didn't say which devatas. Obviously the four devatas that we have established, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha and Indra, obviously those are covered, but it's not just limited to those. When he says all devatas, it means all the devatas that you do homam for. Whenever you do any Vedic homam, you cover Agni, you cover Indra, you cover Vayu, you cover Prajapati. There are certain devatas that are automatically covered. You cover Rudras, you cover Vishnu. So they come either at the beginning or at the end or both the places. They automatically come. So like that, if somebody is using some other procedure from a different Veda, different Shakha, again the exact devatas who are covered may be slightly different. So he is saying whichever Brahma and all other devatas, whichever devatas you normally cover, basically cover all the devatas. But minimum, at a minimum, you should be covering Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha, that means Shiva and Indra. These four devatas who you put on the kalasha, they should be covered. Ashtotaram sahasram va satam vastautya vinshatim. So he is saying basically just like earlier, 108, 1008, all these 28, etc. Brahma adi sarva devebhya, we covered that. Swasva gruhyokta mantratah, using the mantras that you normally do, your own secret mantras, using those, do the homam. Tata svishtakrutam hutva balim purnahutim punah, and at the end do the svishtakrutam hutva. So there is a mantra for Agni, basically. Svishtakrutam means, it's basically the sandhi of su plus ishtakrutam. Su plus ishta. Ishta means put in the fire. it basically comes from the same dhatu, yaj dhatu. Ishtam means something that has been offered to the Agni, offered in the fire. Su means well. Svishta, so Agni is also called, he is known as Svishtakrut. Svishtakrut means somebody who makes whatever you give, he purifies it, and then he makes it well offered basically. Anything that you offer, he makes it well offered. He purifies it, he cleans it. So there is a mantra, there is a mantra, a Vedic mantra that you say, and then you say Agnaye Svishtakrut Edam Mama, and then you put it. So I mean, in the procedure that I use, in the Vedic ritual that I use for my daily homam, there is one mantra that I use for Agnaye Svishtakrut Edam Mama. You could use that, or maybe there are different mantras, but basically he's saying after praying to all the gods, you pray to Agni as Svishtakrut, in the Svishtakrut form. Hutva balim purnahutim puna, and then do the purnahuti, he's saying. So basically there is some guideline. You could basically show this. If you have to do this, this is actually a rare kind of remedy. You don't really have to do it in most cases. What are the odds of 3 boys and then a girl, or 3 girls and a boy being born? What are the odds? The first child, the probability that is, I mean, we don't care whatever the first one is. It can be boy or girl. The second child, the probability that the second child also belongs to the same sex is half. The probability that third child also belongs to the same sex is again half. No, suddenly you don't get 3 varieties. Let's assume that the probability that it's not neither a boy nor a girl is 0. Let's assume that to make things easy. It's almost 0. So it's half times half, quarter so far. And what is the probability that the fourth child is the different, not necessarily girl, but different sex, different gender? That is again half. So 1/8, the probability is 1/8. And we have assumed here, when I said the second child being of the opposite gender is half, and third child being of the opposite gender is half, it's not exactly half actually. It's actually lower than half, because the probability of a third child being there is not 1. Given that there is a third child, the probability that it's a child of the gender that you want for this dosha, that is half. But you don't know that there will be a child. If you take, most people who have only two children these days. The average is 2. So the probability of having the third child is probably 1/10 or something like that. You see what I mean? And the probability of having the fourth child is probably 1/50 or 1/100. So you are not really talking about 1/8, even though I approximately said 1/8. It's probably like 1/8,000 or something, or 1/80,000. It's a very, very low probability. Actually, I know. Olden days it was possible. There were at least it was 1/8 in olden days. It was still not a high probability, but it was 1/8. Nowadays it's no longer 1/8. It is 1/80,000. I know among all the people that I know in my generation, there is only one gentleman I know who has 3 children of the same sex, but he did not go for the 4th one. So
one person I know triplets, all girls.
Triplets is a special case. If somebody has triplets, maybe they can go for a different. Did he get a different child? Usually if people get 3 children, whether they are triplets or not, usually they stop there. So you basically almost never encounter this dosha, but if you ever do, basically you can show this procedure to a priest, they can help.
In the Muslim,
Yeah.
they will have more.
They probably can have a lot of children, yeah.
In the Africa, actually, we had 3 kids, and
Yeah.
then the 4th one had triplets.
I see. Very good. And then he says, Abhishekam cha jatasya sakutumbasya karayet. Do Abhishekam of the newborn along with the whole family. And by family, does he just mean father and mother, or father, mother, all the relatives? It's not clear, because earlier he said the dosha, this particular dosha affects everybody, not just father and mother. He said Pitrumatru Kuladvaye. So the family on father's side and the family on mother's side will suffer because of it. So probably Abhishekam is for everybody. Whoever is accessible, father, mother, father's father, mother's father, all those people can sit, and then you can do Abhishekam probably. Ritvigvyo dakshinam tadjat brahmana chabhibhojayet. And then to the Ritviks, give dakshina, and then brahmana chabhibhojayet. And then feed brahmanas. कांस्याद्य वीक्षणं कृत्वा दीनानाथांश्च तर्पयेत् कांस्याद्य वीक्षणं कृत्वा दीनानाथांश्च तर्पयेत्. It doesn't make sense. You see what this guy, what Santanam translated as. Plastic grains and clothes should be distributed to the poor and Anatha, Dina, Anatha. Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, Kansyaja Vikshanam Krutva. That means Kansyaja Vikshanam. What is Kansya? Bronze. In Telugu is Kansu. Kansya's Vikriti in Telugu is Kansu. It's basically bronze. Kansyaja Vikshanam Krutva. That means they should see the baby in a bronze vessel or bronze plate, basically, which basically implies that they should not see the baby until then. So if they are doing this after 11 days or after 21 days, until then they are not supposed to see the baby, father and mother. And then
Or anybody. Yes.
probably anybody. That is unrealistic. So at least father and mother, let's say. So what he is saying is, after this homam, do the abhishekam and then first see the baby in a bronze vessel or in a bronze plate, basically hold it so that the reflection can be seen. So see the reflection and then from then onwards you can actually see the baby. So that is what Parashara teaches. Deenanathamscha, Deenan Anathamscha Tarpayet. So that means Deenan, people who are troubled, Anathas, people who are orphans. So make them happy. Tarpayet means make them satisfy them. So give some food, give some dakshina, etc. to them, make them happy. Evam Shantya cha Maitreya Sarvarishtam Viliyate. If you do Shanti like this, O Maitreya, all the Arishta will disappear. So that is what Parashara teaches. So this is a very short chapter and we are actually almost done. Next class we will finish the Prasava Vikara Sanchadhyayam one. No, I know. Because we started from the end, we are basically done. We can say we finished BPHS once, now we will revise and then we will go back to the beginning and do the real astrology. And actually I'll just say one more thing. It is not entirely obvious if all these things that we have covered were really Parashara's teachings. It is not entirely clear. They may be or they may not be. I just wanted to keep it in your mind. It is not, even though this book is attributed to Parashara, there may be some parts which were added by somebody else later. It is not inconceivable. It is a possibility. I am not saying it is a probability, but it is a possibility. Especially all these chapters on remedies, feeding the Brahmins, giving dakshinas, all these things. There is a chance that somebody else made it up later. But still, it doesn't hurt to follow it. Whoever, whether it's Parashara's teaching or somebody else's teaching, is the teaching of tradition. So we can follow it, but keep it in mind that maybe it's added by somebody else, maybe not Parashara. Not everything, but maybe some things there.
Yes. The first part, why it is considered to be inauspicious after 3 sons or 3 6 months?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I need to connect.
Yeah, you connect. So we can spend a little extra time on charts today. It now. Yeah, it is on. Is it RGB? Yes, RGB in or out? No, you connected to RGB out. This is a common mistake. So it's like a husband and wife who are talking and husband only points out wife's mistakes Wife only points out husband's mistake. Both are only interested in talking and not listening. Both are talking. So this end is sending data, that end is sending data. There's nothing on the screen.
Did you review the function?
Yeah, I did. But I may want to do it again, but you want to... Yeah. Okay, any questions or any things to discuss?
Actually, we discussed few charts yesterday in our teleconference. We were looking at Narayan Dasha
Okay.
to see the events and things. So in the 3-part soul, one part belongs to the sign.
Yeah.
In the 3-part soul, one part, like total
Yeah.
12 years, say 3
Yeah.
years becomes
Yeah.
a sign.
Yeah.
So in that sign, say it falls in the Lagna itself. Say if the Lagna is Cancer,
Yeah.
and the Narayan Dasha starts from Cancer,
Okay.
Karkataka, then the 3-part rule, it is falling in the same Lagna, because the Cancer is back rising. So the
Yeah.
last
Last 1/3.
1/3 is belongs to that
Cancer.
sign. So when we are, so we have to see as it is the Lagna and what are the impacts of the
What house it is from Lagna, what kind of sign it is. For example, Cancer is a very fruitful sign, very productive sign, very emotional sign. So the nature of the sign you can consider. The nature of the house you can consider. It is the first house from what you said. So it is overall well-being, health, etc. Those are the matters that are affected. And what house it is from Arudha Lagna, that also you can consider. It may be the 8th house from Arudha Lagna or maybe 5th house from Arudha Lagna. So that also will give its results then.
Because
And maybe it
we have considered in one part, right? One third,
aspects of planets. Aspects of planets we have considered in the aspects 1/3. And the 1/3 that gives the results of aspects. But in the 1/3 that gives the results of sign, you can also consider houses from Arudha Lagna, houses from various Arudhas, houses from Khadika Lagna, all those you can consider.
Okay. And then we looked at Narayan Dasha, like as I said, like it is being a Lagna,
Yeah.
so it's the well-being. But we looked at the D6 chart,
Yeah.
it is showing some troubles actually.
Okay.
The boy has some troubles.
Okay.
Has got some kind of very like hearing problem and
Mhm.
totally nerve loss.
Mhm.
Going through the parents
Mhm.
are going through MRIs and all those stuff. So, but D6 we see a big problem. I mean,
Yeah.
the problem with this particular chart.
Mhm.
And then
But Narayan Dasha you are not
Narayan Dasha
sure.
is showing well-being. I mean, because the one
Maybe you are missing something in the Narayan Dasha. It is a possibility. But the thing is, more than Narayan Dasha, when you are trying to see if there will be any health problems or not, it is a good idea to actually look at D6, D30 and the corresponding Dashas, give them more weightage. But if Narayan Dasha shows absolutely things are fine, then it's unlikely that there will be problems. So in this particular case, it sounds to me like you miss something with the Narayan Dasha itself. It should show some seed. It won't show the full picture, but it should show some seeds for concern in the period.
so that
Do you have the data?
If it is not there, can we also see at the Vimshatri Dasha and see if there is Vimshatri or any other Nakshatra Dasha and see if there is a sign which may not be shown up in the Narayan Dasha? Or should it always be shown in the Narayan Dasha also?
Something really big has to be shown in all the dashas. Vimshatri, Narayana, Shula, anything you see, there has to be some indication.
actually the
Because it is touching all his areas of life. His mental outlook, what is happening on the ground, the suffering that he is going through. Various dashas throw light on various of these aspects. And all those aspects must be touched by this. If there is a really big problem, all dashas should show to some extent. But one dasha will be like an expert. One dasha will be like, if you go to an office, if you just want hello world, how to write hello world program, any engineer will be able to do it for you. But if you say I want this particular program, maybe somebody who specializes and who knows all the relevant things, he will be able to give you the program faster. So like that, each dasha is expert in showing events of one particular kind. But if there is a really important event in life, all dashas should have some indication.
Yeah, we don't know what is missing.
Yeah.
Because
Do you have the data?
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, if you are looking at health, Narayana Dasha also will show really big problems if they are coming. Narayana Dasha should also indicate. But Surya Dasha is a very good Dasha if you are using Rashi chart. So what is the data?
Whether that Surya Dasha means whether that applies to this particular, it is nothing to do with
Surya Dasha is a generic Dasha.
Indic Dasha.
Yeah. So what is the data?
It's December 10,
December 10.
Out of focus is only something else.
Yeah, something is wrong. Something is fundamentally wrong. Okay. You want me to experiment further and see if I can improve it or happy with it? Oh, I think it's because of the lighting. He's right. Brightness elagandi? Oh, ida? Okay, okay. Chala maximum bright andi already. Tagindi చూడాలి. Yeah. It may be the light. Yeah. Is it better? Yeah, better.
1998.
19?
98.
Okay, so 8 years.
This is 10:07.
10:07 p.m. Okay.
Kalyan. KALYAN.
Name of the person or place?
No, press place.
Okay, Kalyan.
India.
You do.
Actually, I rectified to 21 seconds, but
Okay. Good.
Kalyan.
Okay, there is only one Kalyan.
Yeah, but D6 chart, that is nothing changing, but I rectified to 21 seconds.
Okay, you rectified to what time? 7:21.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take your rectification. What is the? How should I save it?
Krishna.
Is it already saved?
It's not.
Oh, so you didn't. Krishna, just Krishna. Health problem.
Hearing problem.
Is it from birth?
Is it from birth or started later?
They have identified only last 2 years, but it seems to be from birth.
I see. Okay.
The boy born with some health problems by birth itself. When he was born, some Guruji told them that he has got Shukra and Sun problem. That's why he was in oxygen for 6 months, 3 months. So he had some respiratory disease syndrome. So they did some 26,000 times Shukra's mantra and all those things.
Okay.
So I mean, then after we saw the chart, I mean, we looked at and 11th Lord Shukra, Venus is in the 6th house here.
Yeah.
So you can have some hearing problems.
Yeah. Very good. Good. Okay. So the data for the audio is December 10, 1998, 10:07:21 p.m. The actual time given is 10:07 p.m., but it was rectified to 10:07:21 p.m. Indian Standard Time, 5 hours 30 minutes east of GMT, Kalyan, India. The longitude is 73 degrees 9 minutes. The latitude is 19 degrees 15 minutes north. 73 east 9, 19 north 15. Okay. Oops. Okay. So how do you see hearing? The third house shows the ears, and the function of the ears hearing is the 11th house. So 11th Lord Venus is in Manakaraka Sthana, so whatever remedy they did for Venus, they did a good job. They did a good thing. Okay. Now, all this suffering during this time basically, does it make sense? So that is what we are basically wondering, right? Okay, let's do that. Let us go to Narayana Dasha, not of Vimshamsa, but Rashi chart. Okay, so Cancer Dasha is running. And you are saying that in the last 1/3 of Cancer Dasha, this problem was discovered. When was this discovered?
Last year.
Last year. And are they trying to cure it? They are what?
They are going through the process, diagnosing the problem.
Okay, they are diagnosing the problem. So the problem was not basically discovered earlier, and now they discovered the problem, and they are trying to understand what's going on and if something can be done. Okay. So
We discovered that in the Aquarius,
Pardon?
towards the end of 2005.
I don't know.
Because
But why do you say Aquarius?
Aquarius is the 8th house and that contains the 9th lord and 6th lord and 9th lord in 8th house. And maybe there is a time when
I mean, he may be having a hearing problem because he's born with some lungs problem, like some respiratory disease syndrome. They gave some antibiotics. Right now, the neurologist doctor say that because of that problem, he has been changed.
no, but possibly these people discovered it because because of 9th lord in the 8th house during the maybe because Aquarius runs from up to 2005.
Because they found only during the testing of this last year because school running time. So definitely May is holiday.
Okay. So how is cancer? Is there any possibility of cancer when it gives its own result? Cancer basically giving some health problems.
And when does Lagna change by this?
1.5 hours, 38 minutes.
Body.
Yeah, it's not a border case.
Lagna Lord is with Rahu, right? Second house.
Lagna Lord is in the second house with Rahu, 8th Lord. And Rahu is in Gandanta. So 8th Lord Rahu is in Gandanta and he is affecting Lagna Lord. But that is basically a fundamental weakness in the chart. So you can say that there is some, I mean, especially if you have such a combination in a Margasthana like the second house, you can suspect some worries, some problems basically. Yeah. But the thing is, why in Cancer Dasha? Why when Cancer was giving this result? Does it make any sense?
Is it something to do with the 11?
Okay, what is 11? What does 11 show?
11 is a bhagya.
Tangible results.
Tangible results relating to the 11th house.
Yeah, but in this
Yeah.
11th house is the Venus, right? No, but in this case, it's also, if you're talking about hearing loss, it's a tangible
Yeah.
realization of the hearing loss.
Okay, so basically 11th house shows hearing. The 3rd house shows ears and 11th house shows hearing. So because the Arudha, the manifestation of that house, and also that house is weak because its Lord is in Manakarthasthana. So the Arudha of that house has fallen in Cancer. So do you think that some,
Cancer.
pardon me?
No, which is aspected by
So
11 is there.
11 is
I thought that's what you said. So I was impressed and then now I haven't done.
saying about 11.
Oh, you were. I got confused, yeah. So, could it basically show the manifestation of that particular thing?
Problem.
Now, is there any link with, I mean, any discovery of a formal disease is basically Rogapada, right? 6th house and Arudha of the 6th house. Does it have any link with the 6th house or A6? Cancer? Cancer has Argala on A6. See, when you are looking at signs, don't forget that signs have Argala too. Signs have aspects, signs have Argalas. When sign is giving its result, it's also giving the result of its aspects on other signs. It's giving the results of its Argala on other signs. Just like planets intervene in the matters of other various houses, signs also intervene in the matters of various houses. So Cancer here, it is having Argala on A6. You understand? So, it's having Argala on A6 and it's having Argala on Saturn. Cancer has Argala on Saturn. Why Saturn? He is the 8th Lord. Pardon me? 4th house Argala. 4th house. From any sign, The second, fourth and 11th will have Argra, right? So Cancer is having Argala on the Rogakarka Saturn, 8th Lord, and on A6, and it contains A11 basically. And just containing A11 is not really a problem always, because I mean actually 11th house is Harasthana. 11th house does show it is a 6 from 6. So it does show some, but it doesn't show normal health problems, it shows serious health problems. That's what the 11th house shows. If you are talking about normal health problems, normal diseases, 6th house is the house. But really big sufferings can be shown by the 11th house. But that point apart, here 11th house is Bhagakasthana and its Lord is in Manakarkasthana, Venus. So that shows some hearing problems. So when the Arudha of A11 is activated, that can happen. So the third 1/3 of the Cancer Dasha, making these results come out, makes some sense. But you could not have predicted just based on this. But there is some potential based on the Narayan Dasha. But what I was saying is, Shura Dasha is a better Dasha. Of course, here Shura Dasha will be the same. So it will still be the Cancer Dasha. Cancer Shura Dasha is running, and we have already covered. And then you go to the Shashtansha, and you guys already did that, right? You found things in Shashtansha. But what I will say is, apart from all these details, the basic thing is Lagna is badly affected. Lagna Lord is badly affected. Lagna Lord Moon is in 2nd house, affected by 8th Lord who is in Gandanta. It's not auspicious at all. So it shows a fundamental weakness in the chart. So it's good that whoever that gentleman did the Shukra Puja is good. But the thing is, the overall recovery, the overall well-being is shown by Moon. Moon is so badly affected. So any remedies you do for any other planets, in my humble view, is unlikely to yield any significant results. Moon has to be really strengthened. So they need to strengthen Moon. They need to. And Moon and Rahu combination. Who is the Devata that you will suggest for Moon Rahu combination? Durga, without any doubt. Durga. So some worship of Durga is basically needed. There is a fundamental weakness in the chart, and some worship of Durga is very much needed by this person or his parents. Then only things can slowly fall on the right track. Otherwise, that is a big weakness. And also of course you can look at the Narayan, you can look at the Vinchodri Dasha.
Actually, the doctors are suspecting tumor actually.
Mm-hmm.
So they were asking if there is operation done, then what is the best time to go for operation then?
Okay, we'll come to that. 1 second. Okay, so that's interesting. So what is the Dasha running right now? Sun Dasha is running right now. Is it conducive to good health? Is it conducive to recovery and good health? Sun is the 2nd Lord, Mercury is the 3rd Lord. They are together. Is it auspicious or inauspicious? They are in a trine, that's good. But still, 2nd Lord and 3rd Lord. Yeah, 3rd and 12th Lord. Both are basically inauspicious planets. And especially, I told you earlier, 7th and 8th Lord conjunction is bad. It's a Marka combination. Similarly, 2nd and 3rd Lord conjunction is a Marka combination. And where is it occurring? In Scorpio, which is a very evil sign, and in A8, in a sign that contains A8, Mrityupada. Moreover, from Aruh Lagna, what is that sign? 3rd from Aruh Lagna. Is 3rd from Aruh Lagna good for recovery from health problems, etc.? No. 3rd from Aruh Lagna shows death and death-like sufferings. When the 3rd from Aruh Lagna especially contains A8, it's very dangerous. And especially when the planets occupying that inauspicious center, they happen to be Marakas together, 2nd and 3rd Lord together. It's not at all good. So Sandasya that's running right now is not favorable, especially Sun Mercury is running right now. Sandasya, Mercury, Antardasya. It's a Marka period running right now. You see what I am saying? 2nd Lord Dasha, 3rd Lord Antardasya, 3rd from Aruh Lagna, A8. All only evil combinations. So right now, until next August, the time is very unfavorable for any recovery efforts. Whatever. Pardon me? Yeah, it's 5th house from Lagna, but still it's Mrityupada is 3rd from Aruh Lagna. and their agenda is not very auspicious. So I am not very optimistic. The period and right now is not at all good. And even Ketu and the, pardon me?
There is an exchange between Mercury and Mars.
That's interesting.
Mercury comes between Mars region. Mars is the fifth lord in
Yeah,
plus one.
that's a good point. That's a good point, but I will ignore it for now. This sign is owned by Mars as well as Ketu. Ketu is the stronger lord, so the Parivartana is with the weaker lord. So I will ignore that.
Do we also take the A2 being there as a negative connotation?
No, I will not. Year 2 shows basically the family. Second house is your family, and year 2 is the tangible manifestation of it. So it shows family matters. And A2 and A8 being together means family is very, very either worried or some big problem in the family, big tension in the family, a big setback for the family, or a death in the family. Those are the things that you, especially if you see in a natal chart, it's a different matter. If you see in a Tithi chart, A2 and A8 together, maybe some problem in the family you can expect. So anyway, coming back, so right now is not a good period, honestly. You can try to give him some hope, but my feeling is it's not very rosy. But how is the next period? In 2008, basically, another 2 years from now, Moon Dasha is going to start. How is that Dasha?
Also not good with the moon.
No. It's not good in the sense that Moon is weak. But can Moon provide relief? His agenda, what is Moon's agenda? Sun's agenda is to kill. Second Lord. Moon's agenda is not to kill. Moon's agenda is to cure, to sustain him. Whatever problems are there, get relief from the problems. That is Moon's agenda. So it's a very auspicious agenda. So only thing is, the person who wants to help you is weak. You somehow have to strengthen him. So Moon is like your well-wisher, your best well-wisher. The best, the most benefic person in, most benefic planet in a chart is Lagna Lord. He is the one who wants to do only good to you. And in cases where the planets own two signs, a planet may own Lagna and 6th house or Lagna and 8th house. There, still we consider that planet to be very auspicious, but there is some inauspiciousness. Here, there isn't any inauspiciousness. Sun is Lagna Lord. His only agenda is to cure this person and keep this person in good health. So there is absolutely no problem. Only problem is he is weak. So if Durga can be prayed to, and things like wearing pearl, etc. can also be done, but I will not bother about all those. Just pray to Durga. That can increase the power of Moon in this particular case. So pray to Durga. Read Durga Saptasati, read Durga Saptashloki, or any Durga Ashtotram. Do something for Durga on Mondays or every day, at least Mondays. So that can give a lot of relief, but my feeling is after 2008, not right now.
But here the DC chart, Moon is the 6th lord.
Yeah?
So I mean, it's a conflicting, right?
Yeah, that's a very good point, yeah. Yeah?
So,
How do you reconcile? That's very good. We have a very good example here. So, in the DC chart, Moon's agenda is to give some ill health. But in the Lagna chart, he is the Lagna Lord. So, what will he do?
and here Sun is in Lagna, so D6.
But he is Marka in Lagna. He is Marka in Lagna. In an inimical sign. So, Marka in Lagna in an inimical sign is not really conducive to anything. So, whatever we see in the Rashi chart is only doubled in the Shashtamsha chart. But Moon is a different case. In one case, he is Lagna Lord, the most benefic person for the overall physical well-being of the person. And in Shashtamsha chart, he is in charge of giving some disease to the person, being the 6th Lord. So, what will he do?
You can still consider him with reference to the Rashi chart because there is the overall
body.
physical
And then this is
the environment
some
is going through.
Shashtamsha shows some changes being made to the body by various external factors. So Moon, she will not give. So now comparing both the charts, reconciling both the charts, what we can say is Moon will give cure, but not very easily. Moon is like in two minds. Moon's first agenda is to give him good health. But at the same time, Moon sometimes thinks, maybe I should give him some trouble. It's like one of your friends who really likes you, who wants to do good to you, but sometimes he just ends up irritating you, doing some bad to you. So, Moon is basically, he is overall, he is for the health of this person, but he also is under some obligation to give some problem. So it's not, it's basically, it's a mixed case. But overall my judgment is it's a positive. It's not negative. But it's not perfect.
If you strengthen the moon, will it work at words? One shot is
because the overall agenda of moon is to give only good health. If you strengthen the moon, it will only improve the health. On the other hand, if you wear pearl, it's a risky thing now. It's a risky proposition because he has two agendas. One agenda dominates over the other agenda. But depending on the muhurta when you wore the pearl, depending on so many other factors, any doshas in the pearl, how the pearl was made, what the person who was making the ring thinking when he was making, based on all these things, how the pearl actually came into being, so many things that we don't have control over go into the making of a gemstone, making of a ring that you are going to wear. At what time the person who told you to wear gemstone made the suggestion to you, and what were the thoughts in his mind. For example, when somebody comes to me, I may have just done 1,000 times Gayatri, I may be in a very, very blissful state, and I may have suggested, wear pearl. Or, I may have fought with my wife, and I may be seething with anger, and when he comes, I may have suggested, okay, wear pearl, it is good for you. So, you may not believe, but all these things actually affect. The effect of all these things will join to result in the final result. So many factors that you don't have control over go into this. So gemstone, if you wear, the Rashi effect may dominate, or Shashtansha effect may dominate for a while. So it's a risky proposition. So in this case, wearing pearl is not a good idea given this Shashtansha, given that you want the person to be cured. But praying to Durga, it will not fail the person. And let me put it this way, even if moon was not the Lagna Lord in the Rashi chart, even if he was only an evil planet in both Rashi and Shashtamsa, if you pray to Durga, or if you pray to a deity shown by moon, only good will happen. So prayer will only increase the positive and decrease the negative. It will never basically harm. Okay? Any sattvic prayer.
Actually, in the D6 ninth lord Venus, Rahu and Ketu,
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand that person who suggested him that Sun and Venus mantra,
Yeah.
he has not looked at his chart, they say. When the baby born, he was putting oxygen and they approached the tree. Then maybe because of D6 chart he told,
It's very,
he never seen the chart.
how do you
see, he just told,
intuition?
yeah, some people have very good intuition, he probably used his intuition, but is Venus all, see, we see that Venus is Bhadakesha, Manakarkasthana, not good in Rashi. Is Venus a good planet in the Shashtamsa, or does it show some problems?
He is the ninth or in the
Fourth lord.
fourth and ninth.
Yeah, 4th and 9th lord. He is Bhadakesha. 6th lord, 8th lord and Bhadakesha are always troublemakers. And Bhadakesha is probably the worst troublemaker because the trouble he makes, you basically, it comes as a shock basically. You don't really, there is no logic behind it. So he is Bhadakesha. As a matter of fact, he is Bhadakesha in both the charts. In Rashi as well as Shashtamsa. So basically,
Because of you can generally know the placement of the planets on a given day where they are, right? If he knew at the time of the birth, he would have.
Sun in Lagna and G6, like here ninth
Well-
house in D6 represents protect. What is representing?
I mean, for all you know, we can't guess how a person thought, but it may as well be, oh, when was he born? On this day. Oh, that was Purvashada Nakshatra. Or, in this case, Purva Falguni Nakshatra. So the first dasha is Venus. Or maybe at that time Venus sun was running. Or Venus dasha is running now, next sun dasha will come. So just do both. Like that also it is possible. So we don't know exactly on what basis he made the suggestion. But it's a good suggestion because right now sun dasha is running and Venus is a problem for hearing. So it's a good suggestion. whatever the basis was doesn't matter. It's a good suggestion. But I will augment those suggestions with the suggestion that Durga should be prayed to. Some form of mother should be prayed to. Only she can rescue the person. Okay, any other points? Any other questions? Or should we move on to the next chart?
So we want to see if they go for operation.
Oh, okay. Okay, so 2008 is too late. So we want to go for an operation. So they want to go for an operation and we want to suggest a good time. How is the time right now? Actually, forget Tithi Pravesha. We will go to Tithi Pravesh later. Based on natal chart, how are the vitals right now? What kind of transits does the person have now?
Saturn in second house.
Yeah. So what second house? From moon, if you see from moon, Saturn and Ketu are transiting over Lagna. Is it good? It's not good. It's unfortunately very bad. In general, Saturn and Ketu transit over moon is not good for health. Especially here, both the planets are associated with the 8th house. One is the 8th lord, the other is in the 8th house. So two very, very evil planets, both having to do with the 8th house from natal Lagna. Everybody got that? They are transiting over the natal moon. So, and natal Saturn is actually very close to natal Rahu right now. It's not a very pleasant transit. It's not nice at all. So, I mean, if they think that there is no other alternative, they have to go for a surgery, they may as well go for the surgery. But the thing is, this is not a good time for successful surgeries. This is not a good time for any positive activities. This is a time to just lie low and pray. This is a very dangerous time actually, very critical time, in my view.
And those two are slow moving, they are not going to move any.
Yeah.
2.5 years, right?
2.5 years, but at least, if not Saturn, at least Ketu will move away. And the Dasha will change to Moon Dasha.
Will move next 2 months. He's going to retrograde.
Yeah, he will go back, but he will come back. And he is going to stay for 2.5 years. So we can't avoid basically Saturn in natal moon sign. That can't be avoided, but Ketu can be avoided.
But about 5 months next year, he is going to, Saturn is not going to be here, right? He is
Yeah.
going to go to Cancer and come back.
Right.
That could be a time when they can.
Right, but the thing is, based on the Dasha, it was still Sun Dasha. So Dasha also you have to see. So basically, I'm not very happy about the next 2 years. It doesn't seem like a good time to me. But still, they can't wait till 2008 end. So if they have to go for something, like you said, after January basically, when Saturn moves away, that seems like a good window of opportunity. When Saturn is back in Cancer. Then, let us go to Tithi Pravesh. Actually, let us go to Dasha. What is the Vimshatri Dasha? Sun Dasha. What are the Dasha? Ketu? No, not Ketu. Still Mercury. So it is still Sun Mercury. Still the Marka Dasha is running. Usually when Marka Dasha, Markanta Dasha are running, surgeries are not a great idea. But if they really must go for it. Let us find a reasonably good time in the first half of next year.
See the time, do you ever take the Tithi Pravesh or you will always see from natal chart?
Pardon me?
Do you go to annual charts at all?
We are going right now. Actually, I clicked while you were asking the question.
But should we do that?
Yeah.
See the time,
Yeah. Overall, I saw the natal chart to see maybe I can wait 6 months and maybe a better time is coming. So that from that point of view, I want to pick the right year basically. Maybe 2007 is a better year. Maybe 2006 is a better year. For that, I looked at the natal chart. But the thing is, he is running a bad dasha for another couple of years. Then I said, okay, fine. I'll just live with this. Let me pick a reasonably good time within this bad long-term period. So then I went to the annual chart.
I thought you earlier indicated once that don't bother about annual charts for muhurtas.
No, this is not muhurta. This is basically an important event in life. Surgery.
You are going to arrive at making a muhurta for him.
No. We are not going to do a muhurta now. And that's a separate thing basically. Muhurta is separate. What we are doing is
The time is conducive.
is the time conducive to a surgery, conducive to success in surgery. If they do surgery and there can be more complications because of it. Or even after surgery, basically you may be a square one. There are three possibilities. Surgery fixes the thing, or after surgery no change, or after surgery negative change. So there are three different possibilities. So we just want to see what is a better possibility. So that is why we are looking at it.
What is moon?
So who is the ruler of the year? Moon. Moon is the ruler of the year. And how is moon?
Actually, here the confusion we have is
Yeah. What is the confusion?
moon is the D6,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, let's forget D6 now. Let's just look at Rashi. Okay, if you are confused about D6, just look at Rashi. The physical well-being of the person has to be shown in Rashi chart, if not other things. Is the year lord moon well placed or badly placed? Tell me. Terribly placed. He is afflicted by Saturn and Ketu. Ketu is too close, 2644, 2549, 1 degree, less than 1 degree away. Right? Moon and Ketu are less than 1 degree away. So moon is completely eclipsed. The ruler of the year is completely eclipsed. Moreover, what houses do Saturn and Ketu own? 6th and 8th houses. So 6th and 8th lords are afflicting moon, and one of them is eclipsing moon, and extremely closely. Is it a good year? No, it's not a good year, unfortunately. Is it good for surgeries? Well, any recovery from surgery, apart from Lagna and Lagna Lord, moon has to be strong. Mind basically, that has to be strong. Also sun, absolutely. So moon is basically extremely weak, extremely afflicted. Now how is Lagna and Lagna Lord?
Lagna Lord is in 6th house.
Lagna Lord?
Mercury
Yeah. Lagna is 7 degrees Gemini, Mandi is 7 degrees 7 degrees 52 minutes Gemini. So Lagna is closely affected by Mandi. Even if the time rectification was not right, still Mandi is within a couple of degrees from the Lagna. So there is Mandi affliction of Lagna, and where is Lagna Lord? He is in the 6th house.
6th Lord and
With the 6th Lord and all the, with Marakas. For me? That is Scorpio, an evil sign. So again it doesn't look, and in the 8th from Arush Lagna. Again it doesn't look too promising. So, does this year seem like a year of recovery?
No, I don't think so because of the moon.
I am afraid not. Looking at the weakness of Lagna Lord, looking at the weakness of Lagna, looking at the weakness of moon. Now, with this Rashi chart, you don't have to look at D6, D30, Navamsa, anything basically. When the basis itself is so fragile, and you are operating on the basis of all those dashas, the Vimshotri Dasha, we saw all the dashas and transits, Shani and Ketu over natal moon. So we looked at dasha and transit based on the natal chart. They offer a very, very dangerous basis. On top of it, you have this really dangerous Rashi chart. So I don't really know what to suggest. If they say, well, we have to have a surgery in the next 6 months, what is the relatively better time? I'm not really sure. It's a very tough call. It's very difficult to suggest.
they are thinking in next spring. Like that's what doctor is thinking.
Next spring?
This is a transit position, right? Moon, Saturn and Ketu right now.
Yeah. No, this is annual chart.
Annual chart, I happen to be there.
For the coming year. In December his birthday is going to come. So this is basically annual chart for the coming year.
For everybody then?
No, for him only.
For him only, okay.
If you make his annual chart, Lagna may be different. Your ruler of the year may be different. Okay.
Yes, but Saturn and Ketu are in Leo.
Okay.
Saturn and Ketu will still be in Leo, but moon may not be with them. He may not be too close to Ketu. In your annual chart, moon may be somewhere else. And moon may not be the ruler of the year. And Lagna may not have Mandi. Lagna Lord may not be in a 6th house with 6th Lord, etc.
Okay.
So this is basically this particular chart. His chart.
I was wondering, Saturn and Ketu being together is kind of generally not good, right? In the world also.
Not great, yes. Yes, Shani Ketu combination is very good for sadhana, very good for spiritual sadhana. Especially if it occurs in an important sign in your chart. It's a very good transit. Okay, so forget what doctors are saying. If you were to make a suggestion, who in this chart is conducive to some kind of recovery of the health? It's very tricky to suggest Mercury Dasha, even though Mercury is Lagna Lord, there are so many exchanges of the results going on there. And also he is so afflicted. And when he is with malefic, he also becomes malefic. Let's forget Mercury.
But
Yes.
9th house generally gives you protection.
Yeah.
So in the both of
But the 9th Lord also owns the 8th Lord. The 9th Lord also owns the 8th house. And he is afflicting moon. So it doesn't really show recovery.
so do we say Rahu possibly being in own house may not be as bad and he can maybe a potential
Maybe. But still, Rahu aspecting moon so closely is not. The ruler of the year is being afflicted by Rahu by aspect. What about Venus? He is a functional benefit, the 5th Lord.
but he's in Barakasthana.
Yeah, he is in Bharakasthana, fine, I agree. But he is 5th Lord aspecting Lagna. He is functional benefic aspecting Lagna.
But 12th Lord also, so
Yes, 12th Lord also. 12th shows hospitalization. It doesn't show
something
big catastrophe. It only shows hospitalization. But bottom line is, losses also. But bottom line is, he is a functional benefic. And how is his aspect on Lagna? Very close. He has almost full aspect on Lagna. So any good planets who are aspecting Lagna, he is a natural benefic and functional benefic. And also, he shows, he is the ruler of the Mrityunjaya mantra. He is the ruler of the Mrityanjayavani mantra. And he is aspecting, he is a functional benefic in this chart and has extremely close, within basically 40 arc minutes, extremely close aspect on Lagna. And moreover, if you are talking about physical recovery, physical health, Arudha Lagna is very important. That is the tangible self. How is he from Arudha Lagna? 9th from Arudha Lagna. What does it show? Protection of the body. Protection of the tangible self. So Venus seems like a promising planet. And how is he in Shashtamsa?
but Mandi will not affect anything because of
Mandi is bad.
so but the Venus is aspect Mandi also aspects him, right?
Yeah. But Venus, so what is your
So
point?
my point is that even though Venus is so benefic,
You are saying Venus wants to help, but there are other things that are pulling back. That's fine. But Venus is not with them basically. He is a functional benefit. On the other hand, if you were to suggest Mercury Dasha, Mercury being the Mandi dispositor, he may be forced to give some of Mandi's results. Because Mandi doesn't have a Dasha. So his father Saturn has to give his results or his dispositor Mercury has to give the results. So those are not so favorable. On the other hand, Venus, he wants to do good. He is the 5th Lord, so he wants to give good medicine, etc. to the person, good mantra and good medicine to the person. He is in the 9th from Arudha Lagna, so he wants to protect the person. So he is overall not bad at all. So, and also how is he in Shashtamsa, D6? He is the Lagna Lord in Lagna. Is that good or what? Yeah. He shows some kind of recovery. So looking at, he is 6th Lord also, but Lagna Lord in Lagna. Don't ignore that. Always Lagna Lord is the best benefit for that chart. So, looking at both the Rasi and Navamsa, Rasi and Shashtamsa, shall we say that Venus is a favorable planet? Venus Dasha is a relatively, I won't say go for it in this Dasha. I won't say that because I am not very optimistic at all for the next year or so. But if they have to do it in the next 6-7 months,
good among the bad.
relatively better period is January 3 to March 14. That is what I will suggest.
Yeah, we also thought, but it's too early for them.
Okay, then we can't help. Astrologically, we think that this is a relatively better time for any recovery efforts. But overall, the year looks bad. How is 2007? How is 2007? The Hora Lord for 2007-2008 is, the chart is basically December 1, 2007, 4:59:29 p.m. IST Kalyan. The Hora Lord is Sun. See, this is actually very tricky. The Lagna is right on the border. So we don't really know if it is Aries Lagna or Taurus Lagna. But let us do one thing actually. I am curious to see 2008 more than 2006, 2007. Why? Because Moon Dasha comes. Sun Dasha ends based on the natal chart. The Vimshotri Dasha of Sun ends and that of Moon will start. So how is that year? I am curious about that year. The Lagna, the Hora Lord is Sun. Okay, Hora Lord is Sun. Keep that in mind. And Moon is at 3 degrees. He is in Gandanta but not a deep Gandanta. And Saturn is on the other end of the sign. Okay. So Moon, the 12th Lord is in Lagna. And he is afflicted by Saturn. So that is not good. Lagna has a share of affliction. Okay. But how is the Lagna Lord and ruler of the year Sun? He is in Arudha Lagna. And who is he with? He is with 2nd and 11th Lord Mercury, who is a malefic, functional malefic, but he is with Yokarka Mars. So Lagna Lord Sun and Yokarka, the 9th Lord protection Mars, they are both together.
Right.
And in Arudha Lagna. Arudha Lagna shows overall tangible self. So you don't really see any terrible afflictions as far as Sun is concerned. You see what I am saying? So ruler of year and Lagna Lord is well placed. But still Lagna is afflicted by Moon and Saturn. So there is still some pain and suffering that he has to go through. Moon and Saturn together means some depression, some pain that he has to go through. But the strength of Sun basically indicates strongly that there is some recovery during this year. So my feeling is they may do surgeries, they may do whatever they want to do, but it's going to take 2 years from now onwards. That is what I am afraid will happen. They will try to do something else may happen, something else may come out. It will drag on in some form of the other for a couple of years. And after a couple of years, in 2009, basically things will improve considerably. So that is his year. After November 20, 2008, that is when his time will come. That is my feeling. So until then, I strongly, now I think we are done with this chart, but given that the time is not conducive, prayer is very, very important. So they have to pray to Durga. They have to pray to Durga or Chandi.
They can start immediately.
Start what? Prayer? Prayer they can start right. If you can call them, they can start this microsecond. There is no need of a muhurta for that. Any other charts that you want to just spend half hour on? Or any other generic questions?
If a planet is in Gandanta,
Yeah.
and it is giving the Raja Yoga,
Hmm.
very good Raja Yoga,
Yeah.
and the yoga is weak.
No, I won't say the yoga is weak. Being in Gandanta does not really affect the yoga that the planet takes part in. Sometimes Gandantas are very important positions because planets are in Vargotma, etc. Are in very good Vaisheshikamshas. Some of the Rajogas are powerful when planets are in good Vaisheshikamshas, and that usually occurs in Gandantas. So it doesn't really take the sheen away from the Rajayoga, but it basically means that the planet wants to harm, most probably physically. So if there is any yoga like any Duryoga, for example, Lagna Lord with 8th Lord or Lagna Lord with 6th Lord, that kind of yoga is there with a planet in Gandanta, then that yoga is augmented. But if you are just talking about Dhana Yogas or Raj Yogas, you should not be much concerned about planets in Gandanta. That is my opinion.
So it's not a general rule that if the planet in Gandanta is weak to...
It's not a general weakness, but it's an inclination of the planet to do harm, and usually it's a physical harm. Basically, give a big blow. So the same guy who gave you, somebody may have given you $1,000 as a gift, but he may have crushed your foot with a hammer. He may be trying to break something, and that hammer may accidentally come and hit you. That's basically what that planet is analogous to. Somebody who will, if he is giving a Raj Yoga, he may come and give you a check for $1,000, but still by accident he may hurt you. So he's taking to that. Just because he hurt you with a hammer, you don't say that he doesn't like you or the $1,000 check that he gave you will bounce or something like that. They are different things. Yes. Yes.
Contract is ending in 2 weeks. I have my contract now.
Yeah.
I'm also looking for a job.
Okay. We will take up in a different class. We want to do it a little slowly, not just in 25 minutes. Any other questions?
When we are looking at Sholadasa,
Yeah.
parents or mother or father,
Okay.
our child.
Yeah.
So we censor A9 and A4.
Yes.
But generally A9 and A4 doesn't show the physical body of the person. It is L9 and L4.
Yes.
Then
That is
Sholadasa, we are giving importance to.
that is right. But the thing is, just like when you are looking at a person, you are giving importance to Lagna and Aru Lagna rather than Lagna Lord and Arudha of the Lagna Lord. Arudha of the Lagna Lord is the intelligence, applied intelligence of the person. But the thing is, Aru Lagna is the overall, the intangible essence of a person basically. Right? Your Aru Lagna is the intangible essence of, okay, when somebody thinks of me, there is certain image. Narasimha, this particular body, this particular a person who has this stature, like that you have an image. So that is the inanimate aspect of my tangible existence. But you may think a very arrogant person or very intelligent person or very emotional person, like that there is, when you put some life into that image, that is basically the animated image. So that is the Lagna Lord, Arudha of the Lagna Lord, right? So you have Lagna Lord and Arudhas of both of them. So Arudha of Lagna is the intangible manifestation and Arudha of the tangible manifestation of the inanimate aura of the person. Whereas the animation, the animated being of the person, that manifestation is Lagna Lord's Arudha. So here when you are talking about A9, when you are talking about his father, whether he is an intelligent person, whether he is an emotional person, whether he is this kind of person, all those, if you want to throw light on all those things, then L9 is more important. But if people say, oh, his father is dead, they are talking about something called his father. So that is more from A9 than L9.
So how he looks, so we can tell it from A9.
No.
How he looks.
You should be able to tell from A9. Any inanimate things. Of course, when somebody dies, the animated manifestation as well as inanimated manifestation both are gone. So there may be something you will see from L9 also. But the thing is, this is more of there is an inanimate aspect. When you say this person, his father, there is a particular image. A body that looks like this with five fingers, this hand. So that is basically decaying. That is gone.
He has an accident.
Yeah.
And lost a leg or something.
Yeah.
So we should be able to see it from A9.
I will say A9 is more important than L9.
But in one of the chart we looked at L9 to look at him and what happens to that person.
Yeah.
Look at L9.
See, when you are looking at that person, what is happening to him, how he is relating to what is happening to him, you are talking about his intelligence. Then look at L9. But what I am saying is the world sees, oh, his father is gone, or oh, his father.
So with respect to the person,
When the world is looking at the person's father, and the image that you are talking about is basically an inanimate image. You are not talking about the life force within it, the animation within it. Then just look at A9. So let me actually take a step back and say A9 and L9, the relative importance of both of them is very tricky. It's not very easy to express. It's not very easy to understand also. So you will continue to be confused. But just ponder on what I said. Go back to the basics. Arudhas are tangible. Houses and planets are intangible. And houses are inanimate and house lots are animate. Think what is animated, what is inanimated. When you are talking about a person called Vijay Chitra, what is the animated part of him and what is the inanimate part of him? Think about it. Then it will become a little clearer. It's not very easy to understand or grasp. But in general, when you are looking at death, or any big accidents, pay more importance to A9 when you are using the Soladasa. But if you are looking at Dvadashamsa and if you want to see what happens to father, give more importance to L9.
But in the case that you are saying, if the person is no more,
Yeah,
then the manifestations A9, L9 have vanished.
yeah, both have
Then
vanished.
you just take from 9th house or 4th house accordingly.
No. The fact that they are going away should be seen from them. The fact that A9 is being totally destroyed by Shiva at that particular time should be seen from A9. If you look at A9, the shoulder side, there should be some indication.
The person doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's
The Arudha has been destroyed.
So that A9 has a link with Rahu or
A9 should have, if you look at Pitrashola Dasha, A9 should have some link with it. Either A9, Pitrashola Dasha is a trine from A9 or it contains A9 Lord or some link should be there. Or is the 8 from A9, there has to be some link. But the thing is, you can't predict based on it. Because if you predict based on this, roughly 30% or 40% of the time father can die. So you can't really predict based on this, but you can, if somebody's father is in a critical time, you can see is this a conducive time for recovery or is this a really critical time. So this is basically for confirming something that you already kind of know, not for making predictions. The Pitrashola and Matrashola. You can do for brothers, everybody you can do. Children also you can do, 5th house. Any other questions?
recently we fixed a muhurta for two
Kumbha Vivaha?
both marriage and Kumbha Vivaha both.
Okay.
And I think Kumbha Vivaha date they take it, but the marriage date I gave sometime in August or whatever.
Okay.
They came back saying that date possibly is not convenient to their father, that girl's father or whatever. They want to choose September 1. You should do whatever you want to do, but then I curiously just saw the September 1 that they are talking about 2007. That happens to be Naizamtara for the boy, and
see, when they ask you for an advice, you can give an advice. If they are not destined to follow it, it's not your problem. It's not your problem.
But is the responsibility to tell the new date with effect that it is not auspicious?
If they told you, this is the date we picked, this is good, then you can tell them. If they say, well, thanks for your help, but we are going to do it on this day, you can say good luck. It's not your problem. It's none of your business. For example, I had one person who used to take my help astrologically, and even when I was busy, I used to help them. And then they used to follow sincerely. And then I saw some indications of problem in childbirth. There was basically that lady was pregnant, so I saw some indications of problem in childbirth. So I indicated the Srimanta that you do, basically there is a ceremony before the marriage. What is it called? Baby shower. The baby shower ceremony, when basically the parents, the mother of the lady comes and she basically gives blessings to have a good child. So the time when the blessings are given, that is very important. So I told her, this time is very important. So there are some negative indications about childbirth also, the chart of the child. There are some negative indications in your Saptamsa and annual chart. So make sure that you select a good muhurta. So they came, they sincerely took a time and even asked me, what should we do at the time? What is the definition of the muhurta? I told them, your mother should at that time give you blessings, and there are certain things that mother gives along with blessings as per the custom in Andhra Pradesh. So I told her this should happen at that time. And then her parents came, and for some reason her parents were not very excited about following all these muhurtas, etc. So they just took things under their control, and then they said, no, we are doing it this time. So they did it we'll have a function at that time. So they did it at quite a bad time basically. And then at the time of the muhurta, they did a big function, in a big hall. And then there was a C-section, there was problems in childbirth, there were actually complications after childbirth, the child and the mother suffered, and then even the child's horoscope had some weaknesses, and there were a lot of problems in the family after the childbirth. They suffered a lot. And this is not the only reason, there are obviously several reasons, but at least if they went with a good muhurta, they could have helped. But I just watched. There is nothing I can do. It's not my business basically. They came, they asked for an advice, I gave an advice. After that, it's completely not your business. Sometimes the thing is, if the people are, if you know those people, you may even know, in this case you give a muhurta, they will get married on September 1, whatever happens you don't know. sometimes you will be in a position when people will ask you for advice and they will be nearby, you know what's happening to them because a bad muhurta was chosen, but it's not your business. You should completely ignore. But if they come and ask you, I want to do it on September 1, is it okay? Then it's your job to tell them, well, it's convenient for you, but it's a bad muhurta. You should tell them honestly. But see, we are basically just serving them. We are not commanding them. We are not there. Like, if somebody is your shishya, if somebody is your student and he looks at you as a guru and asks you for advice, then you can command. You can say, no, do it this time. But if somebody just comes to you for service, as a service, then you are their servant. You just give an advice, you are done. So good luck for your Kumbh Vivaha muhurtas. So you are becoming a Kumbh Vivaha expert.
No, that's done.
Actually, we were looking at one chart
Yeah.
where the mother, not mother, the person wants to adopt a child,
Mm-hmm.
and then we were looking at whether the person will adopt a child because she tried to 2 times and there was some abortion happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we looked at the chart and there was no child, because Ketu is here, the person that crossing Ketu.
Mhm.
There is no child written. But in Sthiti Pravesha, we saw that there is a chance of having a because
No, the thing is,
But you don't want to see in physical way.
the thing is, if you see that there is very little chance of getting a child in the Rashi chart, even if Sthiti Pravesh shows it, it doesn't really mean there will be a child. But the thing is, if there is a Dattaputra Yoga, for example, if the Sthiti Pravesh is showing some nice combinations with the 5th house, maybe there will be a child adopted. But you can't say, well, in this Sthiti Pravesh, Saptamsa is so strong, so you will get a child. You don't have to adopt. You will get a child during this year. It doesn't work like that. See, certain things you see from natal chart, they form the basis. If the basis is weak, if the foundation of your house is not done using cement or concrete or stones, if it is done using, let's say, stick, if it is done using matchsticks, then the house will not stand. So your natal chart is like that foundation.
but if there is no child written in the chart, how even Dattaputra becomes child?
Oh, if there is no child written in the chart, still Dattaputra is a possibility. The 5th house does not really show not having any children at all. If there is weakness in the 5th house, any influences of Shani, Ketu, etc., any undesirable combinations relating to the 5th house, they can show Dattaputra Yoga. Basically, having to adopt a child, not being able to have your own child, not being able to give your soul to a child, basically, it's a big weakness, basically. That's what that shows. There is a weakness with the 5th house. That's what it shows.
So it doesn't show that you cannot have.
It doesn't show that you cannot have any child. You can adopt this machine as your child. You can adopt a dog as your child. You can adopt a baby as your child. Who can stop you from giving love to somebody? Who can stop you from giving guidance to somebody? No, nobody can. But if there is a weakness, you can be stopped from giving your soul to a different soul, basically.
Actually, that was my question.
Yeah.
But in this chart, we saw some combination of having a child. So the person cannot conceive means the only option is adoption.
Yes. Even if somebody can conceive, if they want to still adopt, it's fine. For example, there is some actress, I forget her name. She has her own child with some other famous actor. But no.
Madonna?
Huh? No. They are in India recently. Pune.
Oh yeah. Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Yeah. They have their own child, but they also adopted so many children. And she keeps adopting. Wherever she goes, she keeps adopting children. So irrespective of who she is, what kind of other karma she has, this is one good karma she is doing. Adopting stuff. So luckily we don't have a chart.
But there is a person I know.
It's tough. In a chart like Angelina Jolie, to see children is very tough.
But in the Jayalalitha chart, we can see.
Yeah.
She adopted it.
Mm-hmm. Actually, to be honest, I'm not sure how to see adopted children. I know how to see children from various marriages. The standard golden rule we have, 7th house, the 11th from there, and then the sequence. second marriage, we take the second marriage house, second house, and then based on odd or even we go backward or forward, take 11th, and then the sequence. So we covered it many times in the class. That I know. But if there are adopted children, how to see the first adopted child, second adopted child, I'm not sure. Maybe there is a sequence, but I don't know basically. There must be actually, but I'm not aware of any guidelines from the tradition on that. Because this is not really the fruits of a particular relationship which is aimed at getting children. This is just the fruits of your own desire to give guidance to a particular soul. Just adopt a soul that's not really made from your soul and then treat it as your own and give some guidance. So that desire is being fulfilled, not a relationship. So maybe 11th house from something else. I don't know what it is. But the thing is, that is, if you want to see the individual fortune of a particular adopted child, if you just want to see the fact that somebody adopts a child during a year, you may just want to look at influences on the 5th house. There have to be some positive influences on the 5th house during that particular year. Okay. Any other questions?
Recently, November 1, there have been lot of transits.
Yeah.
And Shani is in
Yeah.
Gandanta.
Yeah.
So if you know somebody whose child who is born on that day, are we obliged to tell their parents saying?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Since we went through the remedies.
Yeah.
Suggest the remedies.
Of course, yeah. If they ask you, you should
don't
tell.
ask if they
Even if they don't ask you, did they ask you about comments on the chart?
No.
Then not your business.
No, if it's some friend and we know that there's
Okay, it depends on how free you are with them. Depending on your freedom level, in a non-intrusive way, you can tell. Definitely there's nothing wrong. But if you know that they don't appreciate this, they don't want any advice, then you may as well keep your mouth shut. But if you suspect that they may appreciate the information, nothing wrong in sharing the information. And also the thing is, lot of people, not just newborns, for lot of people, the transits are a little tricky. Like, so many planets are on the move. All the big guys basically change in a few days period, in a few weeks time period. So many changes will be there for a lot of people. And Shani, he was in extremely deep Gandanta until now. Even now he is in Gandanta, but not as so deep. He is past the first degree now. But all this may have caused some tension to several people. So you can tell people to pray. Pray to whichever deity you find appropriate based on the chart. This is a good time for prayers. Especially the next 2 years. Especially the next 1 year. When Shani and Ketu are in Leo. Especially if Leo happens to be a critical sign in your chart, like it is, maybe it contains your Lagna Lord, maybe it contains your 8th Lord, maybe it contains your 12th Lord, maybe it contains your 8th house or 12th house, or maybe it contains your natal Ketu. If it's an ascendant or moon, if it is one of the key signs, it's a very good time to just be contemplative, just think about God, don't think about material things. It's a very good time for that. Any other questions? What I will do is I will end the class very early today. The thing is, I am a little physically a little tired. So I didn't get enough sleep, much sleep in the last 4 days. So 4 days I was in puja. So I'll go early and sleep. Of course I still have my japam to do. I'll do japam and sleep. Thank you.